recording of this again, so that anyone who requires this can have a look. So my name again, Jeremiah Kendagor, a banker by profession, but I've actually retired. I took my final retirement last year after about 28 years of working. So yeah, so I'm out here doing a number of things, and this is an area that has given me a lot of interest and so on and so forth. Now, so for us to probably look at this thing a little bit more in perspective, we can look at how technology has impacted how we transact, or the issue of money, all right, how money has changed over the years. So of course we can talk about the fact that it came from barter trade, which was basically exchange of goods for goods or services for that matter. Then we came to the Industrial Revolution, which was between the 1700 and 1800, where we created paper money, okay, which is referred to as fiat money. That is the dollar, the euro, the yen, the Kenya shilling, Uganda shilling, South African rand. All these currencies are basically referred to as paper money or fiat money. And the interesting thing is that originally when money was created, it used to be pegged on the gold standard. But in 1971, Nixon, the president of the United States, delinked the dollar from the gold standard. So the money we have today do not have an intrinsic value. They are just what we think it's worth, or what the central bank tells us it's worth, all right? But let me not belabor that, because this was not a topic on that specific area, but it's a good point to note. Then we came, of course, to the digital revolution, which was introduced by the coming in of the internet. Now, the internet was the revolution that enabled us to exchange information through the devices that we have, computers, all right? The fact that we are able to push an information from one computer to the other. Right now, I am able to speak to you and you are in Dubai. I believe that's where you are. Kevin, I don't know where he is. You could be somewhere else. You could even be in the United States. You could be in a different country. You could even be in a satellite somewhere. And that is the power of the internet. The internet has completely revolutionized how we do business, both in academia, in research, in medicine, in whatever area, even politics. Right now, internet influences politics of different countries. You remember during the Trump time, there was the issue of the Russian influence on the US election. That is the power of the internet. But now, when we talk about money, we can talk about something like M-Pesa, for example. M-Pesa is such a powerful tool right now, or money, digital money, that takes advantage of the internet connectivity that we have. Then let's now zero in on the next big thing, that what we are referring to as the fourth revolution, and that is the blockchain. In fact, somebody actually said that the next big thing is not even AI. It is not even Alibaba or Jeff Bezos and all that. The next big thing is actually the blockchain. And if you actually do a quick Google on what the blockchain definition is, it is quite interesting. It says that the blockchain is basically a way of recording information in such a way that it makes it difficult or impossible to change, hack, or cheat the system. So this is a technology that gives assurance to anyone who uses the blockchain technology in terms of how we exchange data and information. The other thing that probably I could just emphasize before I move ahead to look at money, specifically on how this technology has been applied to money, is the fact that it is secure, transparent, and decentralized. Security means that no one can change what is in the database or what is being exchanged. Transparent in the fact that anyone can view and see every transaction that happens. Decentralized means that no single person has a monopoly over that information that is being exchanged or any transaction that is happening on the blockchain. So it is completely a peer-to-peer kind of transaction. In fact, the blockchain, when now applied to money, makes you as the individual the bank. You are no longer subjected to any other authority telling you how to be able to use your money or apply your money. So let's look at how this technology, the blockchain, and again, I want to reiterate that the blockchain technology can be applied in many other areas in society to solve different problems, different situations. For example, it can be applied in land registry. For example, it can be applied in voting. It can be applied in registration of persons or things like that. Whenever we need a record that should not be compromised in any way or manipulated by any entity or person or a group of people, we can use the blockchain. So in 2009, that was when the first cryptocurrency was created out of the blockchain technology. Now, why was Bitcoin created? It came to solve a specific problem, and that is inflation. The fact that our money, the normal money we have, whether it is the dirham, I don't know what you use in Dubai, is it AED, the dirham or something like that? All right, or the Japanese yen or the euro or the Kenya shilling. They always suffer from what is called inflation. What is inflation? The fact that your money loses value over time. What you are able to buy 10 years ago with a certain amount of money, you cannot buy that today. And 10 years from now, what you can buy today, you cannot buy that because of inflation. Why is there inflation why does the fiat money, paper money, as it were, affected by inflation? Because governments keep on printing more money. Whenever the government needs more money, they just print more. And when they print more, it affects your balance in your bank. Now, Bitcoin came to reverse that idea of printing money. Why? Because Bitcoin has a specific number that it can ever be. And that is 21 million pieces of Bitcoin that can ever be produced. So what does that make Bitcoin to be? Bitcoin can be used as an asset or a store of value. Just like land, you can buy a plot of land somewhere, and over time, that plot of land will gain in value. That is exactly what is happening to Bitcoin. All right, Ethereum is the next coin that was created after Bitcoin in 2015, and basically what Ethereum came to do was to democratize the blockchain platform. That is to enable anyone who would like to use the blockchain technology to create what we call decentralized digital applications that can solve different problems that we have in society. So Ethereum is an open source. Open source means anyone can actually use the Ethereum platform without paying anything, and you can create solutions to societal problems by creating programs called decentralized digital applications. Now, let's just look at what the experts now are saying about cryptocurrency. According to the World Economic Forum, it is said that cryptocurrencies will gain in value more than 300% by 300,000% by the year 2027. This guy here you see on the screen is Warren Buffett. And Warren Buffett, for example, said, initially, was objecting, or he objected to cryptocurrency. But right now, he has said that it is ingenious. Currently, as far as cryptocurrency or this blockchain technology is concerned, we have just completed what we call innovation stage. We are now in what is called the take-off stage. And of course, you know, in any adoption curve, there will come a time when we will reach what is called the saturation stage. So this is actually the time that anyone who wants to change their bottom line in terms of financial takeoff, you can actually take advantage of the takeoff stage, and you can actually change your financial status. Now, just to complete this particular discussion about cryptocurrency in general, is that right now we have more than 8,000 coins that have been created in the cryptocurrency space. Now, these 8,000 coins, I'm talking about officially tradable coins that you can trade by the click of a button. You can actually convert your paper money, your fiat money, whether it's Kenya shilling, dollar, pound, or whichever it is, to the cryptocurrency and back and forth by the click of the button. More than 8,000 of them. And by the way, each one of these 8,000 coins solves a specific problem. Just like I've mentioned what Bitcoin came to do, what Ethereum came to do. Right now, the worth of these currencies is more than $1.4 trillion. Yes, $1 trillion. Of course, led by Bitcoin at more than 900 billion, followed by Ethereum at 202 billion. All right. And just to mention a few people that have gotten involved in this industry, the richest man in the world today, Elon Musk. All right. I think they keep on interchanging each other between him and Bezos, Jeff Bezos of Amazon. Whoever, I think if this week Elon Musk is ahead, I think next week the other one is ahead. But Elon Musk invested $1.5 billion in Bitcoin just a few weeks ago. And so it is instructive enough that this industry is a big industry. You can just see Bitcoin there, the price going up, and so on and so forth. If you compare that with the GDP of Kenya, for example, Ethereum alone can buy Kenya, all right? And so on and so forth. Now, there is a screen here that I just want to discuss. How can you get involved in cryptocurrency in a way that you can make money and not lose money? Because many people who get involved in cryptocurrency, some lose money and some can make money. So in general, what are the areas that you need to look out for or to watch out for? I'll start with the losing side, and I'll talk about things called tokens. And what are tokens? Basically, tokens are initial coins that are yet to be launched in the marketplace, all right? And normally they are sold as like IPOs, okay, before they are launched. And so that when they are launched and they gain in value, you also gain in value. Now, some of them do not actually gain in value and you can lose money. So before you invest in any cryptocurrency token, you probably would need to do a bit of research. Now, another area that used to be lucrative is what we call cryptocurrency mining. It used to be lucrative, but this one has been taken over by the big guys, the big boys, like Elon Musk, like multinational companies. They have put up what we normally call mining farms, all right? Somebody puts up containers in 3 acres of land and packs them with processors that do cryptocurrency mining. So for any ordinary person like you and me, this might not be an interesting area to look at, all right? So the other area that is very tricky, and I need to mention this, is what is called return on investment programs. This is a diplomatic name that we give to pyramid schemes or pyramid scams, all right? And they are so prevalent in the cryptocurrency space. There are billions of them that are coming up every day. And the narrative they give you about how they make money for you is what sells. So the sweeter the narrative, the better, I mean, the more they can sell these particular programs to you. So one needs to watch out about any return on investment type of programs that they give, that they promise you, so that you are aware on these things. Now, let me go quickly to the gaining side. Where can you genuinely make money in the cryptocurrency space? One, you can actually trade the currency, all right? You can trade the price. As the price is going up and down every single day, these currencies, cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Monero, Litecoin, all the coins, all the 8,000 coins, they are going up and down every single day. Now, you can trade the price. Unfortunately, of course, is that, not unfortunately, but for you to be able to be proficient currency trader that makes money every day, you need education, you need time, and you need focus. Unfortunately, with this particular currency trading, there are two dangers you need to watch out for. One is that it is time consuming and it is an antisocial behavior, all right? It locks you in your room and you end up, if you like that kind of life, probably then you might need to look at it. Number two is that it's addictive, all right? And I can tell you for free, 90% of currency traders actually don't make money. But just because it's addictive, they keep on doing it every other time. But probably where I could say you can make money in cryptocurrency without contradiction is you to buy and hold over a period of time. Just like what Elon Musk did. He spent $1.5 billion to buy Bitcoin. And he's going to hold it not for 2 days, not for 1 month, probably not even for 2 years, maybe more than 10 years, maybe even 20 years. That is how you gain by buying to hold. So the only challenge with buying to hold is that you need to spend a good amount of money. So it requires capital and also requires time, all right? Right now, Bitcoin has hit an all-time high of $57,000 for one Bitcoin. If you buy today and it drops in price to even $10,000, what will you do? Will you panic and sell? You will lose, okay? But if you hold it for more than 5 to 10 years, you will gain and you will be very, very rich. Now, today, and what I want to share with us today is something called a smart contract, a smart contract. And this smart contract is on Ethereum. And what is a smart contract? You can use a smart contract to accumulate cryptocurrencies without breaking the bank. You don't have to spend a fortune to start with a smart contract. And you will achieve exactly the same results of somebody who spends a huge amount of money to buy and hold. So let me now zero in on the aspect of a smart contract. All right. So what is a smart contract? A smart contract, all right, let me just make it bigger here. A smart contract is a programming code that is self-operating, all right? It is placed directly on the blockchain. It can never be hacked or stopped. Once it is deployed, it cannot be changed. This means that it does not require an administrator or a company to run it. It runs on its own and does exactly what it's programmed to do. Now, that is a mouthful of a definition of what a smart contract do. Again, this is not just a definition that I pulled out of my head. By the way, this is a standard definition of what a smart contract is that is based on the blockchain technology. So you can actually do a search. You can do a Google search of what a smart contract is. And basically the summary of what I've said is, it's a contract that when placed on the blockchain, a contract placed on the blockchain immediately changes into a smart contract. All right. So that's the magic of the blockchain, in that it converts a contract, all right, into one that is smart. Now, Foresight is the program that we want to talk about. And Foresight was launched exactly 1 year ago. That is in February of last year. So it's exactly 1 year since it was launched. But some of us, like myself, I actually got to know about this Foresight in December. That is 11 months later. But what I have been able to experience out of this particular smart contract is quite amazing. I'll actually be able to share that. So Foresight is the world's first 100% decentralized smart contract. Now, I just want to re-emphasize again about what a smart contract is and the fact that it is decentralized. What does decentralized mean? It means that no single authority or person or group of persons controls the project, all right? So even the creator of the project is completely irrelevant. In fact, the creator is a participant on the project like any other person. There is no difference between the creator and you and me. You are, as it were, in fact, the creator of the project. So it is decentralized to the extent that you are the owner of the particular project. So that means there are no admins, there are no management governing this. You are the one governing your own funds. You are, as it were, the owner of what you are doing, or the owner of the project, as it were. Instant payout, of course, unlimited income, which is amazing, and it's 100% decentralized, just like what you have. You can see here. Now, of course, that is as opposed to a centralized project. I don't want to belabor that point again, and so on. So let me go zero into Foresight and explain exactly what is Foresight. Again, it's written on Ethereum platform. Why Ethereum platform? Because Ethereum is an open source platform that uses blockchain technology to create and run decentralized digital applications referred to as DApps that enable users to make agreements and conduct transactions directly with each other to buy, sell, trade goods and services without a middle person. So this is a person-to-person kind of understanding or business that you are engaging. Now, let me zero in now and explain exactly how Foresight works and how you can take advantage of the Foresight smart contract and change your life, change your bottom line, change your financial status. So Foresight has 3 projects, all right? Foresight has 3 projects. Number 1 is X3. I wish I could be able to have my my pointer somewhere here. It is running away. I can't see it. But David, I'm sure you can see number 1, number 2, and number 3. David, you are there?
Yes, I can see number 1 and number 2 and number 3.
Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to be sure that because my cursor seems to have disappeared and I can't seem to see it where it is. Anyway, but so yeah, so number 1 is X3, number 2 is X4, and number 3 is X Gold. Now, how do they operate? Now, consider each one of these programs, X3, X4, and X Gold, like a building. All right. Let me see where I can get this thing. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can do something about this. All right. Yeah, so is the cursor coming anywhere here? Anyway, so consider X3, X4, and X gold like a building with rooms, okay? So X3, for example, let me just blow it up a little bit. X3 has 12 rooms, room 1, 2, 3, up to 12. Now, X4 also has 12 rooms. And another thing that you need to notice is that X3 has some numbers. Those numbers in white is, oh, my cursor is back. Those numbers in white are the value you need to pay in order to participate in that particular room. And that is in Ethereum. So this number here is 0.025 Ethereum. How much is 0.05 Ethereum? It is approximately right now, and the current price, about 7,000 Kenya shillings. If you are looking at it in terms of dollars, probably that's about $70. All right. Now, the second room is let me see. The second room is twice the price of the previous one, and it keeps on doubling in price. All right. Now, the general thing that you need to understand about these three programs is that X3, for you to make money with X3, you need to refer somebody else. So if you make a referral and somebody joins the program, then you make money in that way. But if you just want to become an investor without referring anyone, you can actually invest in X4 and X Gold, and you will make money whether you refer someone or not. So that's exactly how those particular programs work. So let me begin with X3. Now, X3, again, as I said, has 12 rooms, which we refer to as slots. All right, so there's slot number 1, slot number 2, up to 12. Now, each one of these slots works exactly the same. That means that if I explain to you how slot number 1 works, then repeat that to all the 12 slots. Now, if you refer one person, okay, you have raised your hand, David?
Yes, just a quick question. You'll forgive my ignorance because maybe I don't know much about how this process works. But
Yeah.
from my small understanding of the referral system, how different is it from a pyramid or a Ponzi scheme?
Very good. Thank you very much. I will address that shortly after I finish this. Or would you want me to address it right now?
No, just go ahead. Just go ahead.
Yeah, probably let me address it before I explain this, so that we can clear that point before we go. So Ponzi scheme or pyramid scam or pyramid scheme, it normally has so many notorious names attached to it. Now, let me, if you go to a definition on the Wikipedia, for example, what a Ponzi scheme is, it's a scenario where people are duped or are made to understand that a company is involved in a certain activity of making money, so that people are paid out of the activity that the company is doing. For example, maybe the company is investing in stocks, or the company is doing forex trading, or the company is doing forex betting, or sports betting, or whatever activity that the company tells you, the investor, that we will take your money and go and invest in these activities. When we make so much money, we will only pay you maybe 1% per day, which is peanuts because we make so much money. So that's what a Ponzi scheme or a pyramid scam normally would do. They would tell you, we will take your money and go and do whatever. But they are a fraud in the sense that they normally don't even do that. What they do is that they will pay the earlier investors with the money of the latter investors. So that is what basically a Ponzi scheme or a pyramid scam is. Now, what I wanted to clarify also is that many companies use the model of a pyramid. A pyramid is not a problem. The problem is the scam in the pyramid. All right, and I can give you as many models that use the pyramid model. Actually, the pyramid model is a standard capitalist way of doing things. I'm sure you know that. In fact, I can see your name is a Kenyan, and you are in Dubai. Why are you in Dubai? Because you want to make money. Why do you want to make money in Dubai? Because that's an opportunity that you got. Why are you trying to make more money? Because probably you want to make a better life for yourself, for your children. Why do you want your children to have a better life? You are trying to run up the pyramid tower, as it were. You want to be better. You want your children to be better than your neighbor. I'm just trying to use you as an example. Even me, when I went to school, my parents told me, work very hard and be number one. In fact, I think I almost tried, because I actually, in my school, I was the top in CPE. Actually, I did CPE. And luckily enough, that school stopped doing CPE. So my record is still the top in CPE. Now they are doing KCPE or something like that. So I'm lucky in that sense. But anyway, I'm joking. What I'm saying is that competition, which is a capitalist idea, is basically people running up the pyramid. You want to become the CEO so that you are at the top and everybody is at the bottom. Nobody wants to be at the bottom. So we always try to run up. And why is that good for humanity? Competition is what creates innovation, is what creates what we have in life. So pyramid is not the problem. It is the scam that is the problem. All right. So the fact that we have now multi-level marketing companies, GNLD, SwissGuard, Forever Living, Omega Global, all these companies, they are not doing anything bad. They are actually helping people by using that model to do whatever they do. So the model is not the problem. The problem is the scam that happens within the system. So I hope I am able to communicate that. But anyway, maybe we can still revisit that point later and be able to differentiate what a pyramid scam is and what a genuine business could look like. So let me now look at let's look at X3. All right. So X3 we have said works by referral, and it begins with you. All right. So when you own a specific slot, say slot number 1, which is basically a 0.025 Ethereum, and we have said this is about how much? That is about 7,000 Kenya shillings. So the moment you refer someone else, you earn 100% of what that person spends to own that particular position. And that's amazing. That can only be achieved by a smart contract. All right. Now, if you refer somebody else, again, you will earn 100%. So with only 2 referrals, you are now 200% into what you into what how you began. Now the third referral is what we normally you don't earn on the third one. It gives you what is called a re-entry or a reset, so that you earn on the 4th, the 5th, the 6th again is a reset. So every 3 referrals you earn on 2, and the third one is a reset. But where does the money of the third one, where does the third payment go? Because this, again, as I said, is not a company. Foresight is not a company. It is a smart contract on the blockchain. There is no company behind Foresight. All right? It is a program that is on the blockchain. So where does the money go? It goes to what we refer to as the ecosystem. Now, what is the ecosystem? Any other person who owns such a slot or such a position. That also includes you now, because now you also own that position. So what does that mean? It means that these same people whom you have introduced into the program, or whom you have referred to the program, when they also refer 3 people, guess who earns on the third payment? You earn on the third payment. You earn on the third payment, and so on and so forth, and so on. Now, why would you be interested in buying slot number 2, slot number 3, up to slot number 12? There are 2 reasons that I can give you. One is that since slot number 2 is twice the price of slot number 1, therefore it means that when you refer anyone in slot number 2, you earn twice as much. Again, the same people whom you had referred in slot number 1, when they acquire slot number 2, guess who they will be paying? They will be paying you. The only thing, of course, you need to do is to own that particular slot before they do. But even if you own after they do, you will earn on their third referral. Now, slot number X4, now the second program, X4, has been modified, but this explanation is the same. Now, instead of you completing a cycle with 3 referrals, now it is 6 referrals. And these 6 are arranged in 2 rows, 2 on the first line and 4 on the second line. Now, the interesting thing here is that you earn 300% when this is completed by you taking the earnings on the second line, the ones that have colored golden, all right? The ones that have colored golden, you take home those money. But the ones that have not colored anything behind, which are 3, you do not earn on those ones. Those ones go to the ecosystem. Again, who is the ecosystem? Anyone who owns a slot like that. That means that even investors who do not refer anyone, provided they own X4, they will earn, because there are these sales that are, or these are referrals that are shared within the community. 3 of them out of every 6 are shared within the community, all right? And that applies to slot number 1, slot number 2, up to 12 in X4, just like it is in X3. Again, remember, you are earning 300% for each one of your investment. And this repeats over and over again, and it never stops. There are no annual subscription, no monthly subscription, no charges, no fees. The moment you own that particular slot, it is yours for life, and you earn over and over and over again. Now, the last one that I need to describe, of course, is X Gold. Now, X Gold is where the real money is. So all these 3 programs have been designed to be able to work together in conjunction to give you advantage on the community and your connections that you are connected with, all right? Now, in X Gold, you earn 1,020% out of a one complete cycle, which constitutes 30 sales. Of course, you could be saying, wow, if I cannot get 1 or 2 people, how do I get 30 sales? Don't worry, because these 30 sales are not your, it's not you who is bringing the 30 sales. All you need to do is to own a slot. And these particular sales will happen from the whole community, all the international community of Foresight X Gold. In fact, I can tell you, when I bought one of these slots in X Gold, it took me only 3 days to complete one cycle. How many people did I personally bring? Only 6. Where did I get the 24 extra sales on this? From the international community? And I can share those particular, whatever right now. Why this happens is because already right now, we have more than 1 million participants in the Foresight community internationally. And every single day, there are people that join the Foresight community even as many as 1,000 people joining the Foresight community. All right. So I think that is clear. Of course, if you have any question on how that one works, I can still repeat. The last thing that probably I would want to mention before I open it to question and answers from you guys is, how do you invest in the Foresight program? Again, the best way that I can tell you to invest is to buy all the slots in all the programs together, right? Okay, let me see whether I can move these cursors. Okay, maybe you can mute if you are there and you're not speaking. Okay, all right. And thank you everyone who is here. Again, if you have just joined late and you need me to clarify a point or two, let me know and I will clarify that. So, if you so you can buy all the programs in all the programs together, but that might be for some people like me. Probably I may not have all the money to buy that. So we normally say that when you want to eat an elephant, you can eat an elephant, but you can do it piece by piece. You cannot eat a whole elephant in one meal. All right. So that's an old man's wise saying, I believe. Yeah, but so you can begin, for example, with 7 slots. It will cost you about 11 Ethereums. That will be about 2 million Kenya shillings. Or you can reduce it by 1, start with 6 Ethereums. That will cost you about 1 million Kenya shillings. Or you can start with 5. The minimum we normally recommend is 4, 4, 4, 4 in all the slots. And that would be what we could recommend. Again, even with each one of these particular startup levels, we have a strategy that you can actually do 160 million shillings in 90 days. And we have the strategy, we can actually describe that. And it will only take only 5 of your friends. I can see already you have invited more than 10 people on the call, meaning that you are far, far ahead of this particular strategy. And we could always talk about this when the time comes. How do you start with this program? Very 3 easy steps. You create a cryptocurrency wallet, Ethereum cryptocurrency wallet. And we normally recommend an app called Token Pocket that you can download on your phone. If you are using a laptop, you can use MetaMask. Then after you have created the Ethereum wallet, you buy Ethereums. And there are many platforms that you can do that. We normally here in Kenya, we can use local cryptos, and you can use M-Pesa to actually fund your Ethereum wallet. Then you get the link from the person who referred you here, and they will give you a link and you can get started right away. So with that, I think I can now show you my account, and then I can welcome any questions that you may have. And then I think that will be okay. So let me share my account just to see what I have been able to achieve within the last 2 months. 2 months only, all right, within the last 2 months. So if you can see my screen again, probably you can let me know. All right. David, you can see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Yeah, so I started in on the 9th of December. I bought 2 Ethereums. I started with the lowest package that I showed you. So I started with 2 Ethereums. And in 2 months, I have 25.9 Ethereums. That's almost 26. All right, you can actually compute what percentage of increase I've had with that kind of with that investment. In terms of now the value the value of Ethereum, actually I've gained twice. Also, the value of Ethereum has gone up, so that has been to my advantage. But I think the most important thing is that I have increased my Ethereums by a lot. Now, that is the difference between buying Ethereum and holding over a period of time. If I had bought the 2 Ethereums and kept them in my wallet, right now I would still be having 2 Ethereums. At the end of this year, I would still be having 2 Ethereums. At the end of 10 years from now, I would still be having the 2 Ethereums. Probably I would have gained because the value of Ethereum is going up every single day. In fact, it is predicted that the value of Ethereum will hit $10,000 by the end of this year. Right now, it is only 1,475 to the dollar, right now as we speak. At the end of this year, it will probably be $10,000. So I would be rich with only my 2 Ethereums. But with the use of this particular smart contract, I have completely transformed my 2 Ethereums to 25. All right. And in the coming days, weeks, and so on, this number of Ethereums will continue to go up. So that's the advantage of using a smart contract as opposed to just buying and holding the Ethereum. So right now, I just want to welcome any question from you guys. You can ask a question and so on. And again, I don't know whether you still have a question with the first question you had about Ponzi scheme and all that. I could still respond on that if there is something that you need me to clarify.
Yes, just a quick one.
Yeah.
The model that you described of gaining when someone joins the program.
Yes.
What are the assumptions of this model? Are we assuming that it continues infinitely, or is there a point in time when it reaches a level where people cannot gain, and then what happens next? Because currently it shows
very good,
a clear linear pattern.
Yeah, very good. Thank you so much for asking that question. In fact, I think it's more related to the earlier question that you asked. Yes, of course, if you can have an hypothetical idea that probably all the 7 billion people in the world will have become members of Foresight, yes, then at that point, then we would say we have reached a critical point where there are no more people. But can you imagine when the 7 billion people, each one of them gives birth to only one person, then we have another 7 billion people who are potential members of Foresight, but I'm joking. Anyway, what I am trying to say is that the number of people that you personally know, like these 10 people that you already know, they are not members of Foresight. And each one of them, by the way, these guys that you have just introduced into this particular forum, each one of them also have unique people that they know that are not members of Foresight, and they can be. So from you going forward, you are completely in control of what happens. So it has nothing to do with any company. So there is no Foresight company as in who determines what ends and what stops. What is the problem with these companies where it depends on people joining so that they pay people is that because they make commitments to people and tell you, they will pay you 1%, and it's a fraud because whatever they are promising is in the hope that people keep joining. And when people slow down in joining and they have this huge commitment to these so many people that have already joined, what do? They switch the system off. Now, in this particular model that we are talking about here, you are the one in control. It is you who can decide to switch the system off or to switch it on anytime you want. And that applies to anyone who is within the Foresight community. So I would have wished maybe some of my colleagues here to kind of add something. But the model, and let me explain something else again about the model that we are using. I know one of the objections, of course, that some people would probably have is at this and say, there is no product. What are you paying for? What are you paying for in Foresight? There is no product. Really? Who said that a product must be a pill, a vitamin, a shirt or a shoe or a service or whatever it is? A product can be a virtual product. It can be something that you cannot touch. So the issue that you will not receive a vitamin mailed to you after you have become part of Foresight does not really, it does not hold water for, especially if you have gone to school or a group of schools. Some of us went to full primary school. I told you I did CPE. So yeah, but you understand that the fact that it is not a tangible product doesn't mean that it's not a product. The only thing about this particular setup is that research and development, by the way, when you are paying for a product, you normally are paying for the research and development of the product and the profit margin that the company is trying to achieve. In Foresight, those particular components of the product are zero. All right? So you can imagine maybe also in that particular light. Or you can think of the model called crowdfunding. And crowdfunding is legal anywhere. All right? The only thing, of course, with Foresight is that you do not pay the crowdfunding fees that normally people pay to be part of a crowdfunding project. If you today want to launch a crowdfunding project, there are many companies out there that do crowdfunding. For you to use their platform to crowdfund for whatever project you have, you must pay fees, annual fees, and even the money that you collect on your crowdfunding, you will pay a percentage to the owners of the crowdfunding project. In Foresight, none of that. All right, so probably you can look at it from different perspectives. David, you're still there?
Yes, I am. Thank you for answering that question. Can you elaborate how in a period of, you said 2 months?
Yes.
Since you joined in December and we are in the month of February, yes, how your 2 Ethereums turned to 25.9?
Thank you very much. In fact, I have not done this before. I'll do it. Thank you for asking that, because I think some people even here will benefit from seeing that. I want to show you exactly how this money has come through. And they are all available here. By the way, on this website, when you click, you see this bell down here, if you can check. In the last, it shows you the last 50 transactions that have happened on this platform. In the last 1 minute, somebody has been paid that $6. In the last 1 minute, somebody has been paid $294. In the last 4 minutes, 147. In the last 5 minutes, 294, 173, 145, 173, and so on. It lists all that kind of thing. And then maybe if I can come here and I'll show you how personally I have received this money. Let me just click that. So you can see here, this is the list of all the transactions I have earned, and they're actually in 7 pages. But let me just show you this one. On the 9th of January, I received 1.6 Ethereums. 1.6 Ethereums. All right. And I used some of that to acquire an additional slot of 2.1 Ethereums. And there immediately I earned this, and then I earned this, and then I earned 0.2, and then I earned 0.2, I earned 0.25, I earned point. You can see all those blues that you see here is the money that I have earned. Look at this, 3.2 Ethereums that I earned, and so forth and so on. You can see the earnings that come through. So yes, the money has been coming, and instantly that money reflects in my wallet. Instantly, it reflects in my wallet. So thank you so much. I don't know if you still have any other question, a quick one, probably because I will be going for another meeting shortly. So David, any question, or any one of them people on the call here, if you have a quick question that you would like to ask, you can ask. So David, did you follow me on that?
Yes, I did.
Okay. All right. Would you like us to have another call? Probably then we can exchange ideas. Probably later in the day. Today I need to go for another meeting right now at 2.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate your patience and your being here. Again, I have recorded this. I'll make it available for you guys. So thank you so much. Have a great Saturday.